Hi, welcome to ESPC24 in Stockholm here. I've got my wonderful friend who I've known for many years, Marc Anderson.
Don't even know how many years it's been.
I'm not going to count that number.
Yeah.
Marc, welcome to ESPC. Glad to have you here. Perhaps for the viewers, if you'd just like to introduce yourself and your specialty
Sure.
in the space of Microsoft 365.
Sure. Well, this is my first ESPC, first of all, so I'm excited to be here. My name's Marc Anderson. I'm a Microsoft MVP for 14 years now, I think. I started a company called Simpraxis Consulting. We're based nowhere really, sort of virtually, but started in the Boston area in the States. And we do Microsoft 365, Azure.
Right.
We build intranets. We migrate people to the cloud. We're sort of old school in a sense. We've been working with these technologies, the earlier ones, for quite some time.
Like SharePoint, right?
Yeah, SharePoint. I tell people, I started with SharePoint. I actually I went out to Microsoft to see Team Services in 1999, I think.
Yeah.
And I've been working with some version of it ever since. So it's not a job. It's a lifetime.
Right. Loving what you do, right, and and then practice your work.
And it never stays the same. So that's the fun part.
Good. No, well, look, it's good to see that, and I think, like myself as well, we're like working with these technologies constantly. That's evolving, and then one of the things that we all face is what else is happening in this space, and of course AI is a big talk amongst many conferences and the world out there itself. So from yourself, Marc, in particular with Microsoft 365, what are the interesting things you're seeing with regards to the AI side of things?
Yeah, I've got to admit I'm a bit of a curmudgeon about it. I'm not, sort of everybody needs to go out and get Copilot right away kind of person. And I know that that's not very politically correct in a sense. But I'm very excited about what we're seeing and where things are headed. I think there's tremendous potential. And I've probably said this to other people before, but I think of it as sort of, it's like the internet bubble in '99,
right,
where everyone was just, this is going to change the world, it's going to change the world, but it was an irrational exuberance, right? And unfortunately, that bubble burst. I don't know that this bubble will burst, but I think we all have to be thinking about how AI can work inside our organizations, given the way our organizations actually work. You need to have a certain maturity level, in a sense, in order to be able to take advantage of what these AI tools bring to you. Everyone thinks meeting recaps are really, really cool, and I agree with that one. I think that is amazing. But then
it's time saver, right?
Yeah, when you think though about how are we going to build new solutions on top of AI and sort of climb up that maturity ladder, I think a lot of organizations just don't necessarily have the business cases, don't necessarily have the mindset to do it. That doesn't mean that AI isn't going to be transformative to them at some point.
Right, sure. So I think just picking up on that, really. So I think even though we live in the world where businesses change rapidly, the strategies sometimes get binned as well, and you kind of almost reevaluating as a company, what your portfolio is.
Right.
And I think with that also, then the M365 technologies, that's obviously evolving at a rapid pace. So to try and bring all that together, how does one keep up to date with all the things that's going on in the general landscape of Microsoft 365, right?
It's very tough. I consider myself pretty well connected into the community, into what's going on. As an MVP, I get to go out and hear what's going on in Seattle once a year. But it's gone beyond a fire hose. There's no way anyone can know what's going on in Microsoft 365. I think you have to, and this has probably always been the case, you sort of have to decide what your focus is going to be.
Right.
I love SharePoint. I think SharePoint's going to be somewhere in the stack forever.
Right.
And so that is sort of predominantly what I spend my time doing. But you know, the other thing that I think is important for you to do is to understand who is adjacent to you in that community, who does things that are connected to what you do, and know who to follow and who to trust. That's another thing that's changed a lot. Is there's so much information out there, not just from Microsoft. From Copilot, you can ask Copilot. You know, how do I set up Purview or something? But know who to trust in the community and in the marketplace.
Okay, so let's flip that at the other side as well, right? So we know there are some frustrating moments within Microsoft 365 tech, some things that could work better. Are there any specific examples that you're able to share?
Oh, you should never ask me a question like that.
We got to keep it balanced, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that I like Microsoft today a lot better than I liked Microsoft about 10 or 15 years ago. I'll say that as a preface too.
Okay.
But pointing out some flaws. I think that there is more and more pressure inside Microsoft to ship things, whether or not they're things that people have expressed a need or want for. And maybe that's natural in a product company.
Right.
I would love to see, and you talk to a lot of people that probably tell you similar things. I would love to see more resiliency and bulletproofness, if that's a word, of existing functionality.
Right.
You know, we don't necessarily need more bells and whistles if things work extremely well, and some of the promise of previously released functionality is fully realized.
Okay.
And I could list off a number of specific things, but I won't.
No, absolutely. No, but you can keep that to yourself,
I'll tell it to you later.
No, that's good. And I guess from you mentioned earlier on that the community sources and the connections where in this large Microsoft 365 ecosystem we have, if somebody is going to start out in the community to share their real world stories, what sort of advices would you give to somebody starting out to be in this community journey, which is where we all most of the speakers in this conference are some way
we all started by sort of following other people around, right? Yeah. I mean, I think the first step is just to know what's out there. If you're not, I always tell people, if you're not using the community, if you're working in this space and you're not using the community, you're totally doing it wrong, because you're likely to be lonely. You're going to be beating your head against the wall for things that you don't need to. There's somebody out there who's figured this out before. So I think understanding that things like, the PNP-led calls, patterns and practices, PNP, it's a team. We'll put the link down here, smash that button. So knowing that things like that, these community efforts are out there, and how you can connect to them, and what sessions they offer online and things like that. I'm a part of a team that works on the maturity model for Microsoft 365, and we do calls once a month. There's just a lot of this stuff out there, and it's free, and you can just lurk if you want to. And then I think if you want to start to send content out from yourself, which is more your question, I think, you can certainly start a blog, you can tweet, and I do still say tweet, you can post, you can,
Blue Sky,
all of those things. But understand that this community is very much out there, and if you participate in it, you'll start to get friendships back. And so
couldn't agree more.
You can speak at collab days or community events, local things if you'd like to do that. Share your stories. I think the best way to learn is to teach. Yes. In my opinion.
Right, and then you learn by teaching, right? Yeah. That's the key. And I guess that's very good advice. So I think, for anyone out there who's thinking about joining the community, just do it. Start following the specialists, in various technologies.
Some of us are very scary, though.
But that's how we get to know people, right?
That's not true. None of us are scary. We're all actually very nice people. It's a wonderful community of people.
Indeed, it is. It is. I guess just coming on the conference itself, you know, I mean, obviously ESPC conference has been around for many years in different locations, and I guess this week here in Stockholm, what sessions are you looking forward to? I know today's the first day here, and what are some of the additional highlights that you're looking forward to?
Well, I always tell people I go to sessions either for the speaker or for the content. It's even better when it's both, right? Because sometimes great speakers are talking about great topics. I love to go to sessions when I come to these conferences. Yes, I come and speak, but I'm sitting in sessions as much as I can. I want to understand what's going on with Copilot. I always try to look behind the screen and try and figure out what's really happening. You know, you look at the demo slides and you're like, I don't know if that's real.
Right.
So just trying to kick the tires, to use the metaphor a little too much, and open the bonnet and see what's really going on. I also like to push out the edges of what I'm aware of. So you know that everyone's aware of Copilot. You can't not be aware of Copilot. But some other things I'm not as familiar with. Joanne Klein talks a lot about Purview stuff, so I have started to have conversations with her, and I want to go to more sessions about you know, data retention and data lifecycle management and stuff like that. So I'm always looking for ways to sort of broaden my not areas that I'm going to be an expert in or know a lot about,
but how it relates to everything that we do. Right?
And how and where is that expert out there? Where is
looking for that boundaries?
Where is the good content?
Right. No, excellent. Well, look, I think just want to say thank you, Marc, for giving up your time here, and I hope you have a great conference as well, and obviously stay connected and be part of the community, and hope to see you soon.
The community's out there. Wait, they're in here. Where are they?
Everywhere. Thank you. Thank you, Marc.
Thanks a lot.